It's time for a bonus segment. Welcome to the Culture War channel. This is actually my first YouTube channel, and I decided that if there's ever going to be any kind of cultural commentary outside of the news, things that are more personal to me, I'll put it on this channel, mostly pertaining to the culture war and what that means. And of course, you can see here this one's skateboarding. I think it makes sense. The culture war, the intention of the show is to talk about these issues in depth. And while this is not a sit-down interview, and we may get one. We had one on skateboarding in the past. We may get another one. This is to talk about, well, a cultural arc in skateboarding. And skateboarding representing one of the most dominant cultural forms for a long time. It was a trendsetter. It set music aflame. Many bands got their start appearing in skate videos, and among the skate community, the style of clothing worn by skateboarders was replicated and sold far and wide. And to this day, malls have Zoomies, and Vans shoes are massive. Nike got into skateboarding. But skateboarding, as of recent, is suffering. And of course, I am here now. And, well, the reality is I've been in skateboarding for decades. In 2005, I was let's just call it a team manager at the X Games. Literally, I was a team manager at the X Games. And I was only, I think, like 18 years old. That is to say, my friend competed in the X Games. I was granted team manager access as we were skating together. Shout out to my good friend, Marissa Del Santo. I haven't seen her in a long time, but we used to skate together when I was probably like 14, 15. And when she went to the X Games, I got to go with her. It was a lot of fun. But I returned to the X Games I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years later as a contractor for an organization working in women's sports. And so specifically with rights and pay for female athletes. And so this was an official capacity. It was a paid job. And I was officially now at the X Games skating. I got to actually ride down the mega ramp, hang out with a bunch of the pros. I had all access, everything, both times. And made a bunch of friends who were pros. And there are a lot of stories that I tell about this time. About how I was nasty online and then felt really bad when I met some of these people in person because they were super cool. And that changed me a bit. You know, look, I'm a little kid. I'm 14, 15. I'm on the internet. I'm watching these skate clips and these skate videos, which were few and far between at the time. And I'm a mad smack talker, but mostly just among me and my friends. So then when I actually start meeting some of these bigger pros and getting a chance to skate with them, it actually becomes, then I start to feel bad. And I'm like, oh, wow, that guy's so nice. There was, aside from that, I was also flown out by a clothing company with a buddy of mine. And we got to skate all over California. Got to stay at this dude's house. It was a really cool adventure. But I've never been one to actually care about the industry. I've always been pretty anti-skate industry. But now what we're dealing with in the skateboard industry has lit a fire inside of me, a passion. I don't post a lot of skate clips. Never really did. The only videos that exist of me are me basically chilling. So now with the increased scrutiny on the efforts we have over at Boonies HQ, which is our cultural endeavor, it's not entirely meant to be just skateboarding. We're going to have fun, do silly things. We got a video of Special Mike, we call him, stepping on some whoopee cushions. Now, you've got the scourge. This is the internet hate machine that is skateboarding, and they're upset. But this also has to do with where I live, the projects that I'm working on, and the lies from many on the left. So we'll start here. I mean, first of all, here's another video of me skateboarding. This is from like last week. This is me performing what is called a switch blunt switch flip out on the mini. And I got to bring it to the bigger mini, but I was basically just chilling. So it's a nose stall, switch blunt, switch flip. You've got right here P Duff Plan B. Who's that? Duffy, one of the OG skateboarders, one of the progenitors of street skating. Shout out Duffy. Appreciate the comment. He says, whatever you call it's a difficult move. Yeah. I mean, I don't skate nearly as well as I used to because I don't really care as much. But this is a video of, you can watch me skating a little bit. And it is funny, too, because there's some people who are like, you know, Tim's a bit fatter than he was back when he was younger. Because I got a video on YouTube when I was 18. I was actually fatter before that. Because, like, I got fat when I was 14. And then I lost a bunch of weight skateboarding. And now I moderate skateboarding. But what's this video about? Martinburg Skate Park. What videos do I have pulled up? Here's a guy who made a video about me, and I just think it's funny to see all this commentary and all this stuff talking about me. But let's talk about what's going on with Martinsburg, because this is the big story, and I'll tell you where we're at right now. And I'll tell you about what the lies and what's going on and why. I say this guy, Gifted Hater, is the scourge of skateboarding. He is what he represents. He's an individual. I don't know. Maybe he's a nice guy. But what he does is he hates on skateboarders, the industry, and he rallies people, whether intentionally or otherwise, to hate. We can't have this. Skateboarding's got to be fun. It's got to be for everybody. And that's what it's supposed to be. But who's this guy? Well, he made a video in response to the story about me buying property in Martinsburg, which was the reason I pulled up this guy's video is because I don't actually watch this Gifted Hater guy's most of his stuff. But this guy points out, he says, Tim's actually pretty good. He was actually pretty good in his prime. And this Gifted Hater guy is lying in his videos to make it seem like Tim's not good at skateboarding. Well, I will tell you this. For those that have ever watched any video of me skateboarding, you've never actually seen me actually skate. I've never filmed video parts. I've hit handrails. I've skated stair sets. I just don't film. I didn't care to be sponsored. I hate the industry. I hated the industry greatly. It was fake, and I've never been a fan. And what I mean by that is it's exactly what this guy represents. When I grew up in Chicago skateboarding, you had a handful of guys who were not good. They were good enough, right? But they would insult the younger guys who were better than them. They would make fun of the clothing we wear. One of the stories I love to tell is that when I got into skateboarding, we all wore super tight pants. And that was just what everybody wore. I actually started skating with baggier clothes, and it was hard to feel the board and see the board. And so when my friends were like, get a tighter pair of jeans, and I started wearing regular jeans, all of a sudden, everything was kind of easier. And then I wanted stretch jeans and I wanted thinner shoes. So I ended up wearing, I think there's a video of me somewhere. I don't know. I'm wearing I wear the same thing, the baseball tee and blue jeans. And I remember when I started dressing like that as a teenager, like 15, 16, these older guys who wore big baggy pants would insult me and my friends and say that we look like losers and we dress like weirdos. I thought it was funny. When I got a little older, around 20, people started wearing khakis and chinos with the pants up to their ankles. And a bunch of my friends were like, look how goofy they look. Where's the flood, bro? And I was like, dude, why are you doing that? Like, do you remember when the guys used to make fun of you? I fist bump. I'm like, cool pants, bro. Don't care. Have fun. Let's have fun. And I feel that way for most, like rollerblading, skateboarding, scooting, BMXing. It's like, if you're having fun, you're doing it right. And what I would always say to people, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Which brings me to this guy. This guy has been a scourge on skateboarding for some time, to the point where one of the most famous skateboarders, Steve Berra, actually finally broke down and called him out. And this is, I don't want to get too esoteric right away. So I'll tell you about skateboarding. As you know, Viva La Bam, Jackass, CKY, all these things were really big in the 2000s. Ryan Sheckler had a TV show. Skateboarding was big. The skateboarding boom, the Tony Hawk video games, people were living large. But skateboarding has been suffering major declines as the industry has failed to ignite the passion in younger skaters. There certainly are many young skaters, some accomplishing tremendous feats, but it ain't there. Because people got to realize you got to have kids, but more importantly, you have to inspire young people. You've got to convince parents to bring their kids to skate parks. There's a story recently. People hit me up, said there's a local skate park in a rural area that's closing down. They need help. I reached out. I said, what can I do to help? And they said the problem is nobody skates anymore. It's not that they don't have the money. It's that the park's just empty. I'm like, wow. So we got to get kids skating. But how are you going to do that when you have people like this who are intentionally hateful, hurtful, spiteful, and nasty, who lie, cheat, and steal, causing nothing but, annoyance, pain, and frustration? This guy, Gifted Hater, is notorious for what they say are funny critiques. It was 3 years ago, so the dude's about 27 now. But I'll give you a better breakdown because he actually responded. And we have this video, which is very small and hard to read, from Steve Berra. For those that don't know who Steve Berra is an OG. He was pro way back in the day. I think he's like 50 now. And he started something called the Barracks with Eric Costin. So Steve Berra, Eric Barracks. It's a good name. It's like a military theme. And this was like the biggest media site in skateboarding for a very long time. But as recently, they've been producing less. Their official skate headquarters shut down. Things aren't going too well in skateboarding. Same thing happened with Braille Skateboarding, which is a large channel on YouTube. Now, why is this happening? It's a combination of things. Sales aren't there. And a lot of people say it was COVID. There was a downturn from COVID. False. Rollerblading actually saw a resurgence during COVID. Outdoor sports actually saw a net benefit. Although there was a lot of you can't go outside and things like this in a lot of areas, big cities, in a lot of other areas, namely like where I'm at, we would go to Catoctin Skate Park and there were people rollerblading. And I was actually surprised to see so many rollerbladers. And they said, can't go to the game store, can't go to the movies, can't go here, can't go there. Not going to sit inside all day. Went to the park where it was allowed. So there was actually a big boost to outdoor sports. People were picking up their boards, picking up their blades again. But how come skateboarding is suffering? Well, I asked my buddy who's a rollerblader, why did rollerblading die? And he explained that the older guys were gatekeepers. They were really mean to younger guys. They didn't want them involved because they were cool and they earned it. So nobody wanted to do it. Some people pointed to Big Brother magazine as really putting people off of rollerblading, but that's just it. The insult, the condescension. I watched a guy in a scooter do a triple flare. I think that was Jordan Clark. Shout out. Really awesome. And it made me sad. I said, this dude is one of the best athletes in the world. I don't care if it's a scooter, a bike, a skateboard. Why isn't he doing a 900? Why isn't he landing, the first kickflip 900? Why was it a triple flare? Well, I'll tell you. When I was younger and older guys in skateboarding were rude, condescending gatekeepers like this guy, Gifted Hater, kids did not want to get involved in skateboarding. Their parents would buy them scooters. The kids would come to the park and people like this would insult them. You know what me and my friends would do? When we saw a kid with blades or a scooter, we'd go and be like, dude, you should hang out with us, but get a skateboard. Get a skateboard, man. Come hang out with us. When the kid would do a jump on a scooter, we'd go, yo, we'd clap and we'd cheer. And then we'd be like, bro, get a skateboard. Come, you're by yourself. Why aren't you skating? Too much of what I saw was in the industry insulting scooter kids, making fun of them for being in the way. And we have Serge who works here, Scoots, and he's really good. And we had this funny bit where it was just like a thing that happened. He was going up the quarter pipe and then someone was crossing and then they all laughed and said, even when he's 30, the scooter kid gets in the way, and we all laughed because that was the joke. But me and my friends, we were friends with everybody. So Steve Barra, who starts one of the most influential skate sites, responds to this dude. And he made this, the guy responded back, this 2 years ago, but it exemplifies everything we're seeing now. I'm going to read this, but I'll try and make this point. For those that don't know the backstory, for those that already do, quick version. We own property in Martinsburg. I live in Berkeley County. Martinsburg is in Berkeley County. We live just outside of Martinsburg. So the coffee shop we're setting up is in Martinsburg. Our employees live in Martinsburg. Some of them have lived in Martinsburg their whole lives. We are in Berkeley County, which is Berkeley County is who wants to build the skate park, and they want it in Martinsburg, but it might be outside of. We are not only a part of this community, we live here, we build here, we invest here. And we've been here for about 4 years. Most of the people who live here have lived here their whole lives. The people who work for us who live here lived here their whole lives, and they skate. And so I said, hey, we should get involved in skateboarding. I get asked to be involved by locals. So they're doing a local jam. I say, 20 grand, let's roll. They didn't like that. They said, if Tim Pool shows up, we'll physically remove him. He's not welcome here. I talked to some of the locals and I was like, what's this all about? My building's right there. You're skating in front of my building. And they were like, dude, you're blowing our spot up. We don't want to do this. And I was like, you don't own the spot. There's no organization behind this. There's literally just like we're in Martinsburg, we're skating. Like there's no one for me to call. Like there's no organization behind this. It's me personally saying we're investing. We're going to build a skate park and I'm putting someone, who am I supposed to talk to? They said, you should have talked to us. Us is a few guys who don't even live in the city. I don't even know that they actually live in the area. We had been planning on buying property to build a skate park. We had been looking into who owned that large property where the do-it-yourself park is. And here's proof. One of the dudes from the park who's been complaining nonstop actually came up to me, yelling at me as I was with an agent to buy property a block from the park. So go ask him about that. He filmed the whole thing. Proof that we were actively trying to buy property this whole time. What's the idea? We're going to buy property with a DIY. We're going to build a big skate park. We're not going to touch the DIY. They can have it. We've got a building on the property. And now it's all lies. All lies and manipulation. Say, the property's not even worth anything. Tim wasted money. That's weird. Why lie about that? It's 5 acres of property, full concrete, with a freestanding 3,000 square foot building on it. They said there was a bidding war and the price started going up. Not true at all. The owner did want to sell it, but it was basically derelict property owned by people who didn't even live in the area. So here's an opportunity for us to build a skate park. These guys come in. Here's what happens. When they find out that I bought the property because we wanted to improve and repair a skate park, they went and destroyed it. Not completely, but apparently they showed up and started smashing things. Other locals, because like our employees are locals who skate there, got mad and said, "Why are you destroying our skate park?" And they were like, "Because," and this is what they said, "because if we can't have it, no one else can either." People got mad. Apparently they came back later and tried to fix some of the stuff. Whatever. This is what we're dealing with right now in skateboarding. This guy, Gifted Hater on YouTube, makes a video, and now he's getting everybody riled up because this is the scourge, the hatred of the industry. And now all of it's lies. Here's the truth. I even got hit up by the Washington Post asking me about it. Here's the truth. I live in Berkeley County. I own several properties in the area. We own one of the big buildings in the area. We are investing. We are working with local businesses. Several have already worked with us to try and get a park. I've talked to the city and pledged $100,000 towards their park. However, I've also had issues with local people coming up and smashing up my property. And I said, how are we going to do this if you've got these angry guys and there's like 3 of them because the other 50 are friends with us, giving us fist bumps, taking pictures. I was skating at the Hagerstown skate park only a few minutes away, and they're all, "What's up, man?" In fact, some of them have skated here at the boonies. So who are these haters spreading lies on the internet? And why is this guy, Gifted Hater, acting like it's all true? Because that's how he makes money. So Steve Barra says, "I always know when you post a video because I get about 1,000 death threats and kill yourself messages immediately after. So I thought I'd finally respond to you here on your forum." Mind you, this is Steve Barra, one of the most famous skateboarders who's done tremendous things for the industry. A lot of people don't like him. I don't know why. He's not a very public figure. He says, "Personally, as you seem to enjoy attacking the barracks and myself or anything and anyone in the vicinity, why, I'm not sure. The lens by which you see the world is a brutal one and something I don't quite identify with or understand. Although the barracks doesn't have anything to do with Mama Skate," I don't think that is, "besides giving her a desk where she can work, fill orders, something it did for her during the pandemic as she was overwhelmed and needed some room. I think you picking on her and her sister is pretty weak, particularly because you're a guy. The barracks has no control over what she does or how she does it, no interest in her company. However, whether you or I or anyone else agree with her choices, it really is bothering you so much you made 2 videos trying to wreck her. And with all the inconsistencies with brands and people, much bigger wrongs in the industry, why are you focusing solely on just a handful of people? Aren't there far larger stories out there for you, much bigger fish? Or is it a personal vendetta? You say you don't want any of your followers to bully the people you talk about, but yet that's all they end up doing. The things they say are heartbreakingly awful and mean. And everything the world has been through in the last 18 months, mind you, this is COVID, is the result of this. This is how you want to make your bones in skateboarding in the world. It used to be you had to be a good skater or photographer or a filmer or an artist or something that contributed to the skateboarding ecosystem in some way. And that's how you earned your voice. But times have changed, I suppose. A new lane for the new generation that's developed as a result of social media is now scathing criticism. So for you to succeed, which it looks like you are right now, all you have to do is sit at your desk, your computer, and hate people and the things that they're doing without ever having to do anything yourself. And that is your contribution to culture, to the culture. It takes some people their whole lives to figure out their role in society. I'm glad you found yours this early on. Personally, I don't find any joy in trying to destroy people, even if I don't agree with what they do or how they think. The world can be a brutal place, and I certainly am not perfect. But I would rather spend my time trying to make it better than criticizing what other people do. Despite any mistakes, the barracks has personally helped thousands of people and have been very generous and giving to the community over the last 13 years, especially when it was under my full control. Why it became a target of hate for you lately, I suppose I'll never know. Although I don't really have control over what goes on there anymore, I can assure you all the people who work there are good people and doing the best they can. And if there are any wrongs, they certainly try to make things right. Ease up a little, give them a break, because you never know when you yourself are going to need one. Certainly. Well, apparently this guy did another live stream about me, cussed so much that it got deleted for whatever reason, but I think he deleted it. The dude's clearly super angry. I don't stand for this. I don't like the hate. And this, what this guy is, he's proud of it, and it's all he represents is hatred. The skateboarding that I know and love is when we're hanging out and we've got some pro skateboarders filming here, some of the best in the world. And homie does a trick that I didn't even think possible. And my mind is blown and I'm just laughing in awe watching this amazing ability. And the other day, it's really funny. I'm skating with the homies and he asks me, he's like, "Can you do a switch inward heel flip?" For those that don't know, it's a trick, but you know, if you skate, you know what it is. And it's switch means you're standing opposite your normal way on your opposite foot. So it's like riding left-handed. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I haven't done one in a minute. I just downsized from 8.5 to an 8-inch board. We'll see if I can actually skate it. I think it'll help improve my flip tricks because I upgraded to an 8.5 when I started skating more stairs, big drops. You want a bigger board. But he gives it a try, and it's like one of the best skaters in the world. And he misses, and I'm like, I'll give it a try. And I get about the same degree. It like goes around, but I miss the flip. And then he just goes and blasts it perfectly. And I'm just laughing like this dude's so good. But here's the thing. I'll tell you what skateboarding is. I'm not mad he's better than me or anything like that. When I then land, I did later on, a few minutes later, I did a half cab kickflip cancel. He's clapping and saying, whoa, sick. This dude is 100 times better than me at skateboarding, and he cheers me on when I land a trick because skateboarding is for everybody. And that means whether you're the best skater or the worst skater, when you overcome yourself to do a trick and you land something good, and good could be a pop shove it, could be an ollie basic trick, we cheer for you. Doesn't matter who you are. You roll up chubby AF, never skateboarded before, and you get a manual from crack to crack, and you go, I got it! We're going, yo! We're clapping for you. That's what skateboarding should be. This is the scourge, and I'll tell you why it succeeds. Internet loves hate. Hate and anger generate a lot of content, generates a lot of response. Drama, people love it. What you need is a stronger positive influence. In this world, sometimes good succeeds and sometimes evil succeeds. It is two wolves, and they are fighting. Whichever one you feed is the one that grows, as the saying goes. Now, there have been some people who said, haha, Tim Pool's an idiot for giving this guy attention. This guy is getting a ton of traffic in skateboarding right now, more so than I get. And so when he talks about me, I respond. By all means, let's hash it out. I'm investing millions of dollars into skateboarding. We're paying people salaries. We're paying them premiums and bonuses to skate. We're building a skate website. We're building a board company. We're going to sell merchandise. We're going to make a living skateboarding and generating content that inspires young people, that is fun, funny, and family friendly. Yeah, family friendly just basically means there's not going to be excessive drinking and swearing, but it's going to be skateboarding. And we're going to mix it up so that young people are inspired by it and want to be involved in it. And you know what that means? We're never going to stop evil. We're never going to stop hatred. These people will always exist and always spit on others and treat them like human garbage because they never made it themselves, because they did not succeed. And this is the best they could do. It's sad, really. It's actually really sad. But what we're going to do is we're going to prop up as much good as we can, and we will, only when necessary, call out the bad. There are skateboarders that are in the Olympics just now. Big controversy. Yuto Horigome. He did a nollie backside 270 to blunt slide. Some people say the nollie frontside 270 to front blunt was better. How could this have happened? How did Yuto get gold? He doesn't deserve it. And I say, I'm not going to weigh in on that. I don't care. You know, there's industry level bickering in sports, and that's fine. It can happen. Yuto Horigome is fantastic. Okay. Nyjah Houston, awesome. Some say he got robbed. I'm not going to play that game. I like them both. They're skaters. And the only thing I'm concerned about is, are we going to have fun? Are we going to skate? And are we going to inspire the next generation to take up this sport and compete and bring a new level to skateboarding? But you know what makes it harder? As the skateboard industry dies, as sales decline, searches decline, kids don't want to be involved. The hatred from people like this gifted hater guy on YouTube become more pronounced. How do you get attention in skateboarding? You be nasty and mean to everybody. You spit on the industry and you revel in its destruction. And then what happens? Soon there will be no one skateboarding. And you know what that means? Skateboards will cost $200. Don't believe me? Go look at rollerblading. It is ridiculously hard to get rollerblades. They're very expensive because they don't have high enough margins. It's become a passion sport. But when you have mass production, the prices go down because your fixed costs remain the same. I'll put it this way. If it costs $30 to make a board, inflation will always happen. Prices will always go up in that regard. But if someone wants to make a living skating, they need a premium. Let's say they're going to sell 10 skateboards. How much money do they need to make a living skateboarding? I'm sorry, at that margin, you're never going to make it. If you sell 10 skateboards at $30, you broke even. All right, let's say you sell them for $60. Now you've made $300 profit for you to pay your rent. You ain't paying your rent with that. So you're really going to have to sell the board for a lot more because you need, I mean, come on, let's be real. Median, you want to have a median, you want to have a family, you want to live in a house. Good luck if you're only selling 10 skateboards. What if you sold 1 million skateboards at the same margin, $30 profit a board, which is absurd. Well, Now you're making $30 million. But hey, you don't need $30 million to get by. You can get by with $1 million. So what do? You sell the boards for $31. You get $1 per board, 1 million boards, you made $1 million bucks. The more boards you sell, the cheaper it is for boards for everybody. These people who want skateboarding to burn are going to make it so that only rich people can afford skateboards, and we're already getting there. A complete skateboard with premium level gear, we're talking pro level stuff, it's going to run you like $300 to $350 with shipping. Maybe $200 to $300. You want a pro board with pro trucks, the best bearings. You can get the bare minimum. You can go in the bottom end and maybe going for $150 or whatever. It's going to get more expensive as these people spit on and destroy the industry. You've got people ragging on the Olympics. The Olympics, and I'll tell you this right now, why it's so important to call these people out. If the industry suffers and there's no strong media guarding skateboarding, caring about what it is to skateboard, the fun of it, I tell you what's going to happen. And this guy, why this guy is so bad for the industry. And that's why he's getting all my attention right now for this video, a special video, because we're going culture war, baby. Skateboarding in 10, 20 years is going to be dudes in unitards wearing American flag spandex, because without culture, it will become gymnastics. Take a look at parkour. They've got parkour in the Olympics. They have gymnastics. They're comparable but different. Gymnastics is dudes in unitards doing the rings and doing the bars. Cool stuff, cool flips. In parkour, street. Baggy pants, whatever you feel like wearing. Skateboarding is that right now in the Olympics. You wear whatever you want. If the industry dies, North Korea, China, all these countries are going to say, stop wearing this stuff. Wear form-fitting athletics approved by the government that will maximize your abilities because we want you to win. If you want to be on our national team, you've got to do what we say. Well, we got to push back against that because we don't want skateboarding to turn into gymnastics. I was against skateboarding being in the Olympics, but it's here now. So now we have to make sure, as we can't control the direction of the wind, we can't adjust our sails. But we got ourselves a problem, my friends. Let's go back to me personally. And that's why I'm doing this on this channel. I live here. I was told I wasn't welcome to skate in DC. I live an hour from DC. I skate where I want. You can't tell me. Skateboarding is not exclusive. You can't kick people out. Doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, trans, black, white, or otherwise. You can't tell people skateboarding's not allowed. I go to the skate park. I see a black skater. I see a trans skater. I see an Asian skater. They're all welcome. Any one of them lands a trick, I clap for him. We had a guy at the skate park the other day hating on me. He lands a hard flip. I clap for him. I don't care about none of that. We're skateboarding. We're having a good time. And everybody's going to skate and everybody can skate. But this is what we got to deal with right now. I live here. I decide I'm going to spend money where I live. Nobody owns skateboarding. And what do I get? These people try to burn it down. Let's go over what happened. When I bought this property with a skate park on it, and I've already given about $5,000 of a pledged $50K towards repairs, and locals have already been working on repairs, and I was just personally there this past weekend. They're like, Tim's not even there. We're talking about, we're 2 blocks away. Lying. They try to destroy it after I buy it. They show up, these haters, and destroy it. Why? When I offered, I was talking to the guys, I said, I'll put $500,000 into a concrete park right now. And they were like, no, F off. And I'm like, dude, you know why it's not going to happen so easy? Because if I actually put that money in and they show up and smash the concrete like they did, then what are we doing? So until the city and the county can deal with this, and until we push out the haters and the gatekeepers, it's dangerous to invest this money. Still, that being said, I talked to Berkeley County Sports and Parks and Recreation. I said, you got to pledge for me $100,000 right now. Done. Tell me when to write the check. And he was like, well, let's see if we can find the land. They want to get some local banks, some local corporations involved. I said, I've already got pledges from other local businesses. So we're probably about, 35% of the way there. And I told him, look, I could fund the whole thing. But I said, you got these guys that are vandalizing property. How do we deal with this? He's like, I don't know what that is. And I'm like, okay, well, how do we build a park if the construction company that's working on it, who I actually know and work with, this is hilarious. How are they going to secure the site if these guys are like, what's that? Tim Pool is the one who funded this. Destroy it. And that's this guy's fault. Not directly. But see, the problem is this guy skates. He's pretty good at skating. He's going to make videos. He's going to rile people up. He's going to lie to them. And they're going to go around with that anger and they're going to cause damage. That's the problem with people like this. And that's why I say we have to be active in calling out the hatred. His whole channel is him being a hater. Steve Barra pointing out, all you do is hate on people. You're just mean. We got to win. So I'll say this. We cannot make evil disappear overnight. Evil is a part of reality, like this guy. But we can out-influence it. We can make it so that people recognize if you want fun, if you want recognition, it's not this path. It's not by egging on this guy to hate people. Go ahead and do it. But are those people real skateboarders? I don't think so. Steve Bear's a real skateboarder. He's been in this industry for his whole life. And I'll tell you this, he's going to call it out. Duffy, the legends, the leaders of industry, it is only because the industry has weakened that bad people are able to get a foothold. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to redouble my efforts. I'm going to invest. I'm going to make sure skaters are getting paid. We're going to make products. We're going to inspire kids. And when we get 1,000 parents to bring their kids to skate camp, and I don't mean here because we don't do that, but when they watch these videos and they say this is fun, it's funny, the kids like watching it, when we get them to play EA Skate 4 when that comes out, they're going to buy skateboards from everybody. And that means not just the boonies. That means, how about Tactics Skate Shop, Active Ride Shop, CCS? They see their sales go through the roof. Local skate shops start popping up. We're going to build one. And we're going to maintain this. Push the haters out. Be it the loser haters or the gifted haters. You want to hate and make people uncomfortable and feel like they're not welcome? You don't belong. We're going to create the opposite space. You are welcome to skate. Skate at your own risk. We tell people we're a private facility, you got to sign a waiver, but it's invite. So we've had some of these locals, they've come here skated several times. And when they lie and claim the locals here don't like Tim Pool, they're lying to you. I was just at the Martinsburg spot 4 days ago. People are having a good time. I could post the videos, but you know what the thing is? We're not going to get 50 local kids to start posting on social media how much they love everything. It's just a weird thing to do. The haters are trying to make money doing it, and that's the game they play. But I'll counter. I'll be the tip of the spear. I got a couple posts for you. Here's me skating 369 weeks ago, jumping higher than that guy could probably jump if his life depended on it. You want to be a hater? Let's play the game. Here's me hanging out with Bark at Slab City Skate Park 479 weeks ago. What else do I have? I don't even know what else I have. Here's a video I filmed 421 weeks ago of Geo Skates doing a kickflip backside lip slide at North Hollywood, because I used to skate at North Hollywood all the time. Used to hang out there all the time. And then I got this, here's a video. Here you go. Here's me skating at North Hollywood 13 years ago. Check this out. I'm going to play this clip for you. Let me turn the volume down. Watch this. This was, I call it the killer whale. This is 13 years ago. Tim Pool and his signature trick, the big dolphin flip. I never said any of that. I was skating in North Hollywood, as I often do. They have what's called the Euro Gap. They have ledges. And I played a game of skate with someone, and he saw me do this trick, which is particularly advanced. It's a good trick. And he asked me if he could film it. And he uploaded it. Looks like he scoots. There you go. So I wonder if I can put this in like super slow motion. Playback speed, 25. Now you can watch it. I'll mute it because it'll be weird otherwise. Here's the trick of me 13 years ago in North Hollywood. It's a forward flip, back 180. I used to do that trick all the time. Look, man, these people want to act like they own skateboarding. They want to hate on everybody. They want to hurt people because it benefits them. I'm sure this guy makes money on YouTube. How's his life going as he burns down the industry and insults people and makes them feel unwelcome? Well, I got news for you, buddy. I got more money than you. I run I work in a bigger industry with bigger media access. And that only means one thing. Doesn't mean I'm better than you. Doesn't mean I'm more deserving than you. It doesn't mean I have more of a right to skateboarding than you. Not at all. It means that I'm going to pay skateboarders who are nice, who are positive, who inspire kids. And that results in one thing. 10 years from now, when we massively expand this industry, contribute to the expansion of as many others will be doing, help build more skate parks, set up programs to get more kids to skate, you will be but a blip in the history of all of the people you've insulted and demeaned for your personal benefit. And maybe there will just be some great skateboarders in the future, and that will be the shade of the tree that I planted that I knew I would never sit beneath. I am 38 years old. I still got a bunch of tricks in me. I did a fakie 540 big flip the other day. We're filming some stuff. Like I mentioned, this guy was talking about me doing a switch blunt switch flip. Pretty advanced trick. Homie, I'll tell you this. You want to see some real tricks, man? I don't even film the stuff that I could. How about I film some real stuff? There's a couple things to consider. I don't film. Rarely. That's why the Boonies doesn't, they're asking me to film a full part. And I'm like, I don't know. I could do tricks. But most of the videos of me has never been me skating like the best things I've ever done. I've done kickflip back 5-0s down hubbas. I've done front feebles down handrails. I've never cared to be sponsored. I had some light sponsorships back in the day. I just want to have fun. Just want to skate. What was I really passionate about? News, politics. And that's why, clearly, that's what I've built. But now I'm concerned. Having watched the likes of the Barracks and Braille struggle and collapse and the industry falter, I am deeply concerned about what's going to happen to skateboarding with the Olympics coming up in Paris in 2028, in LA in 2028, Paris now, if we do not invest in this culture. I'm a big fan of Steve Bear. I think he's a good dude. People want to hate on him because that's what people do. They hate. Well, not me. I'm only going to hate on the haters. I'm going to hate on the haters. And, I'm going to give support to the people who deserve it. So let's get it. We're going to build a skate park. We're going to build more skate parks. We're going to go on tour. We're going to sell boards. We're going to inspire. We're going to create. We're going to laugh, love, live, all those good things. And there's only one group of people that I'm going to hate on, and that's those who hate first. Because it's self-defense. That's what I call it. I'm never going to go to a skate park, go up to anybody and insult them or make fun of them or mock them. I'm never going to go on a video and be like, this skateboarder sucks. Look at his tray flip, for no reason. There are people who skate and I think they're goofy skaters. I'm never going to make a video where I'm like, look how awful this guy is. And I don't want that to be the culture. That's what this guy is. Gifted hater. He's the one who makes videos insulting people. Let's focus on better things. Have a good life, my friend. I wish you all the best. But I tell you this, we're going to be better people. And we're going to have fun doing it. Anybody who wants to step up and cause problems and insult and lie and cheat, I will call you out. And I will defend the good people in skateboarding who are trying to make skateboarding bigger. I'll wrap it up. Thanks for hanging out on this special Culture War clip. And I'm going to go skate. I'll see you next time.